Fairly new combination. Look to play a very aggressive style of volleyball, hard and flat. And really good hustlers in defense. Both teams coming off a couple of wins in their first rounds of the main draw competition here. Back to the action, another tough serve, dropping it short and inside. So Barannik and Ashbush had a tough first round loss, in fact, to the US team. They've obviously bounced back and they're firing now. 6-2, 7-2 in fact. And Nikki Laird, high snap cross court. Puts a stop to a very impressive service trying to kick things off. Nikki Laird, Phoebe Bell also having a first round loss as well to another USA team, Cloth and Rus. They've gone through the college system, winning their first AVP title in Atlanta last summer. Very excited to see them take center court once more. 8-2. Sorry, 8-3 on the scoreboard. Yalia Shush internet this time. You just hear on your court microphone there, Phoebe Bell firing up Nikki Laird. Needing to push, needing some momentum. Get things back on their terms. Bell gets a dig, no block. Swings, scooped by Barannik. Over the line, Nikki turns and touches. No block, Bell puts it away. Big, big play for the Australian combination. Setting violation called by our first official. We go around and end change with a score of 6 points, serving 8. So the Aussies bringing it back to within 2. Some great defensive pressure, allowing question marks to pop up in the offensive attack of the Israeli combination. Lovely drop shot down the line, just over the top of the block. Gets a point on the board. And control back in the Israeli hands. Good touch in defense. From Yalia Shush. Couldn't quite control it for her partner, Barannik. That ball goes into the tape. So a few errors creeping into the Australian game. They can feel that pressure. The centre court, their home beach, their home crowd. A few people kicking around, which is fantastic to see. Beach Pro Tour, Futures event, women's competition, tight set. Nikki Laird sneaks it inside. Eight points, serving 10. Bell to the line. She's got a good float serve. That's been nice. She's got a hybrid serve as well. Really cheeky there. Yali Azush with the play on 2. So So impressive skills. One of the toughest things to do in beach volleyball these days. Said it over on two. You see more and more coming into the sport and the discipline of beach volleyball. And it's great to see that at this level, the futures, it's sneaking in there as well. Lovely shot down the line this time. So it is Yali Azush, the young 19-year-old, doing the damage and controlling everything right now. 12-8, one away from the technical timeout of this first set. And Phoebe Bell on two. They go to the technical timeout. 3-point ball game. Israel lead Australia 12-9. Just like this volleyball match, Queensland is live. Fantastic part of the world, the east coast of Australia. The land down under, we welcome you, all the viewers from around the world. If you happen to be local, you stumbled across the YouTube channel of the Beach Volleyball World. Or if you're viewing on the app, welcome to you. Ben Abbott here with you, commentator and host for this weekend's proceedings. Israel, the number 8 seeds in the lead. We come out of the technical timeout. 13-9 on the scoreboard of the number 1 seeds of Australia. The Israelis been relentless in defense, causing some real damage from the baseline as well. So the questions are being asked of the Australian number 1 team. As they're both in double figures now, Bell serves down the middle. The 19-year-old Ajush snaps on Laird, but Nikki Laird, 2016 Rio Olympian, utilizing her experience there, making a great move to pull off the net to then scoop and convert. Back to within 2 points now. Bell with a scoop. Opportunity to go to back within 1. Swings, controlled, inside the baseline. 12 points on the board now for Australia. The local fans making a bit more noise now as they see and feel the momentum building. And the Israelis call a timeout, feeling that pressure. 1 point ball game. Timeout called. Across the screen now, a few of the supporters, major partners of firstly the Australian Beach Volleyball Summer. But of course, we partner up with Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, Futures event here. And a beautiful backdrop that is, as the athletes do come back out. The Aussies with the momentum. Bell dictating from the baseline. Serving 13. Tactical timeout. We see it all too often. More commonly in the younger age groups or the national tours. The timeout's called and then errors drawn just to break the momentum of the serve. But Israel and the young Azush serves down the line on Bell. Phoebe Bell, cool, calm, collected. Level head here. The 25-year-old from Brisbane, Australia. Out of Boys State College, US. Defensive touch. No good, though. they go around, Israel maintain the lead by 2, 15-13. This is where they've dominated from this side of the court to the left of your screen. Is where they've done their damage, specifically from the baseline. They go again, this time on Laird. High in the middle, no block, punished by Nicole Laird. So not the tallest of athletes coming from Israel, but they don't need it with the way they are defending on their side of the court. Bell to the serve, down the middle on the 19-year-old Azush. Drop shot, Laird again pulls, turns. Reads well by Phoebe Bell. And just like that, we are back level at 15 all now. Really impressive composure from the Australians. They've been patient. They've had to be patient to find their rhythm, to find their groove. And now this young Israeli team are under the pump from Australia's #1 seeded team. That ball just goes wide. So the 19-year-old goes back. She's already got a few aces to her name in this match alone. No block touch. Onto Laird. Has to hustle, control, and give himself time with the height. Nikki Laird punishes it into the sand. Really well done there. Scrambling efforts, but the time on that first phase ball, allowing them to get back in rhythm, back in sync. 16 all. Hard on the Zush. Pokey into the block, sent wide. Young combination. Mikhail Barannik, 23 years of age. Out of Tel Aviv, now in Hadera. The top 10 finished at her name in 2018 in Vietnam. Great scoop in the backcourt, over on 2. Double block. Defensive scoop. Opportunity now for Israel. Off the top of the hands. And a big play from Michal Barannik. They have the lead by 2 now at 18-16. Business end of this first set. Hard and flat on Laird again. Double block, double defense, sorry. Scooped easily. The wraparound play. Laird controls the block. Bell had to go. Finds the corner. Keeps Australia in touch as they go around. 17, serving 18. Phoebe Bell, the left-hander from Brisbane, Queensland, 25 years of age, has got a gold and a silver medal on the World Tour to her name. Partnering with Jessica Namo in 2018 and 19, getting some fantastic results. She now partners up with 2016 Rio Olympian Nicole Laird. 17, serving 18 through the middle. Laird's there, pushes back. Recycle and on 2. Square to the net. 2 the target. And 19-17 is the scoreboard. We saw that earlier from Yali Azush. And inspired by that move, Mikhail Barannik does so the exact same. 19-17. Australia must win point. Bell down the front of the block this time. They stay in touch. 18-19. Laird to the serve. Good opportunity now to level things up. The breeze at the Aussies' back. hard and flat. The ball control from the Israelis has been fantastic in this set. Pass just off. Pushed tight. Scoop from Bell to level things up now. She does so. Swings on the retreating block. Finds the sand. 19 all. Unbelievable stuff here from the Aussies. Composure, having to work back. There was 12-9 at the technical timeout. They have found avenues. They have found a way to bring it back. Both very experienced athletes from Australia. As Bell gets a scoop, the opportunity to go up now and get a set point. No block, swings down the middle, kept alive, hustled, no. Australia now with a set point opportunity. 20 points on the board. What a turnaround this has been from this Australian combination of Laird and Bell. One to get. Can they convert? Laird to put the pressure on from the baseline. The breeze just swirls around ever so slightly. Serves on Azush, and they get it done. Touch they serve. Big fist pump and chant from Nicole Laird as the Australian combination and number one seeds take the first set 21-19 in an epic grind to get it done over this young and exciting Israeli team of Yali Azush and Mikhail Barannik. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back here for the second set very, very soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and inside to this beautiful part of the world that is the Gold Coast. You are getting a glimpse, a snippet of this beautiful coastline, the white sands of Coolangatta Beach, Australia. First point done and dusted, crushed by Nicole Laird. An opportunity now for Phoebe Bell to do much so the same. She does, off the block of the young Azush block. 2-0 scoreboard to kick start this second set. The Aussies fighting back from a 12-9 deficit in that first set. It was back and forth for the tail end of that first set, and their patience, composure prevailed to get the win 21-19, and they continue that momentum into this second set. Starting the first few points with power and finding finesse for point number 3. 3-love scoreboard. Down the line on Hazush. And she goes back down the line. Israel get their first points. Young 19-year-old. So exciting. Couple of aces to her name early in that first set. A hustler in defense. Works hard. Guided by her young partner as well, 23-year-old Mikhail Barannik. Just into the tape. Having to go hard and flat. Wanting to push and move the Australians around. 4-1 on the scoreboard. Both the Israeli athletes having a top 10 finish to their name. Yali Azush in Italy in 2021, just last year. As Nicole Laird throws that ball back down. Got to go high of the reaching hands of the Laird limbs. and the Israeli partner of Ashbush, Barannik. Originally out of Tel Aviv, her best finish was in 9th place in 2018 in Vietnam. And they're pushing the top tier now. What a set. Good hand. Recycled. Recognizes off-balance defense and fantastic shooting from Yali Ashbush. 5-2 as they go around. Some positive touches in the business end of that first end there. Barannik to the serve. Little bit of a breeze. You see the flags ever so slightly in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Long and flat over the baseline. Bell happy to let that one go. Phoebe Bell getting a top 5 finish at the Asian Championships 2021. In fact, I actually think she won a bronze medal with Georgia Johnson at the Asian Champs 2021. Timeout called from the young Israeli combination. They trail this first set 7-2 on the scoreboard. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, you see here on the screen as we speak, it is the Futures Pro Beach Volleyball event on the Gold Coast here, Coolangatta, with finals day on April the 3rd. Happy April Fools as well, ladies and gentlemen. But if you are viewing from around the world, please let us know. We want to know where you're viewing from, celebrating this fantastic sport of beach volleyball. Make sure you're using and tagging Volleyball World, Beach Volleyball World. Download the app at the App Store and tag your hashtags like a pro and your favorite shots of your athletes or even yourselves playing volleyball. Dig like a pro, serve like a pro, ace like a pro like Phoebe Bell. We want to know your love and your passion. Share your love for the beach volleyball sport. 8-2 on the scoreboard, second set. And a fantastic swing side out, utilizing the weaker part of the block. And Yali Ashbush will go back to the baseline with point number 3 for Israel on the board. No block, and Nikki Laird just pushes it deep to the corner. This is the Nikki Laird that Australia knows. She's fiery, but she's exciting. She's passionate about her sport and what she does. Puts absolutely everything into it. Back to the baseline, down the line on Ashbush. Laird to the block, throws it back. Recycled on 2. Bell, easy scoop and an opportunity to extend this lead. Now no block. Bell punishes it into the court. The Aussies in cruise control. The Aussies have found a rhythm, found their momentum, and utilizing all of their experience from their many years, not only on the Australian tour, but now venturing out even more so into the international beach volleyball scene. 10-3 is the second set score line here. As Laird goes hard down the line. Tight block, just out of reach. Nicole Laird with the athletic turn. Just inside. Clits the tape and cut shot. And really good hustle from Ashbush once more. Questions asked about the handling of one of the sets there, but fantastic skills displayed. The young Israelis, 4-10 on the end switch. Barannik back to the serve. Hard and flat on Laird. Bell on 2. Sends it long. 5-point ball game now. Do we see the service pressure start to build again like it did so on the first from Israel? put the Aussies under pressure. Bell with the pass. Laird with the set. Bell with the kill. I'll eat my words as the Aussies compose themselves the very next point and put that ball away. Lovely shot down the line. Baby line is what they call it. Just a flick of the wrist, presented the hand early, and just had to choose a direction. 6 points, serving 11. Australia still in control. Zush to serve. Hard and flat on Laird. Too good. And this is the pressure. We saw this in the very start of this match. The service pressure from this young lady was so impressive. With a couple of aces to her name, she adds another one there, forcing the Australian timeout and bringing the match to within 4, 7 points, serving 11. We return to the action here on centre court. Show court for the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour Futures event. Coolangatta, Gold Coast. Impressive run here from the Israelis and a tough serve. Well handled by the Australians. On to Phoebe Bell. Some of the best ball control from Phoebe Bell. We've seen it all summer long. And they maintain a 5-point buffer at 12-7. Second set, the Aussies taking the first set, 21-19. Handling error called there by the first official. Nikki Laird continuing from the baseline now. So the Aussies, like we mentioned earlier, winning the Australian Championships on the weekend just gone, finishing off and capping off the Australian summer. Tight set. Fantastic pokey cut shot. As we go to the technical timeout, Australia lead 13-8 in the second set and cruising towards a 2-set-to-love victory, chasing their first win at the Futures Beach Pro Tour event. Queensland on the east coast of Australia. And you are seeing a snippet of it. Coolangatta, Gold Coast. Just above the border of New South Wales there. Beautiful part of the world, the white sands here in Coolangatta. The overpass, not quite controlled. And Australia get away with that one. Another tough serve coming from the Israeli combination. As Phoebe Bell goes back to serve. She's got a couple of weapons in her arsenal with her float serve and the hybrid serve as well. This one going short. Over on two, Bell reads it, gets a touch. Laird having to dodge her partner to find a way through. They keep it alive. And Laird gets the block. Another block to her name. She celebrates and cringes at a couple of maybe interesting calls. She's been on the tour and the scene for years, and understands how the game is just progressing and changing. And the biggest celebration comes from an overset and a point on the board. Some would say tactical, others would say an error. But when you've got a team playing double defense, the old two-ball play is always not a bad option. Shot deep into the corner, just long though. Must have been millimeters away from that corner. As the Australians now at 17-8. 4 away from wrapping up this second set and getting their first win here at the Volleyball World Beach Pro Futures event. Short serve on Azush. Bell controls it. No block. Puts it away. No. Scoops. I spoke too soon. The big scoop in backcourt. But composes itself for a second phase attack. High over the line. That's just some of the excitement of these young Israeli athletes. 19 and 23 years of age. Matching it with the experience. And the number 1 seeded Aussies here. Ace serve, Phoebe Bell. (19-8) scoreboard. Very, very big turnaround and change of tune from the first set that Australia just grinded through. As that one clips the tape, hustled from Azush, kept alive, but couldn't be controlled. They go around and a set and match point for Australia to get their first win, progressing their way through this competition. Bell to the baseline. Hard and flat has been her serve. Have been targeting the younger of the 2 Israeli athletes, Yali Azush. They go there again. Deep overpass. Nikki Laird gets it done for Australia, the number 1 seeds. Taking it 21-19, 21-8 in a dominant performance in the second set. But a valiant effort from this young Israeli number 8 seeds, Yali Azush and Mikhail Barannik. Fantastic result for Australia in a battle and a grind and showing true determination and patience to get it done. They'll celebrate the win, progress through the competition. We'll see them again very soon here on Centre Court. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once more. I've been Ben Abbott. I will continue to be Ben Abbott. And I'll see you guys at the very next match here for the Beach Pro Tour, Coolangatta, Gold Coast.